All right, y'all. We're back to do Love is Blind, episodes 3 and 4. Hopefully, my notes are not out of whack because I had to rearrange some stuff. But either way, we're going to get into the video. Make sure you're liking and you're also subscribing. So, Anna told Blake that she believes that, I believe it was Blake she was talking to. I think they were doing like some camping trip or whatever like that, inside the pod, some type of camping thing. And the question came up about ghosting people. And that was one thing that Anna mentioned, that she has ghosted people before. And I believe that's where we left off on the previous episode, where what was his name? Patrick. I think Patrick went into the room looking for old girl. She was not there. And she also referenced in the past that she will ghost people, right? And that's what she ended up doing. So Blake learned, and you know what was funny? Once Blake learned that Patrick was pretty much ghosted on, Blake was sitting up there acting like, yeah, like he a shoe-in, like, yeah, he lost I won type of energy, only to find out that she went home and she left your ass too. Okay, is you cool? So he thought he had it in the bag, but she left, all right? Now, Mike has a friend that he used to date like 5 years ago, and he says that this friend has a boyfriend currently, but she likes to come over to his house and get in the sauna. Girl, it's giving she fucked that man. Like, I'm sorry, okay? I believe that maybe doing a little something, something. Because out of all of the places that she could go to get into a sauna, she chooses to come to your house. Something ain't right about it, right? So, anywho, I was feeling like, yeah, Mike might be a piece of an F boy, Miss Megan, and Megan wasn't too surprised by that because she says that he reminds her of guys that she's dated in the past where things really just did not work out too well between them, right? I'm not crazy about Mike at all. However, when I compare Mike and I compare Jordan, in my personal, I do think that Mike is a better catch for Megan than Jordan. All right. I feel like I understand she has that sympathy for him when it comes to, the diabetic situation with his son and stuff. But I do feel like that can only carry oh so much weight. Because I really feel like that's why she really connected to him. Him talking about being a dad, how he shows up for his child and stuff like that. Him talking about his own dad or whatever the case is. So I just kind of feel like that's why she's drawn to him and connected to him. But I don't know if that's going to be enough ultimately. Should he go on to propose to her and they actually make this a thing? I really think she probably should lean towards Mike. And I really feel like Mike is, I don't know, he is an interesting character. But I don't know. I just think he may be a better fit, but y'all leave y'all thoughts, all right? So, anywho, Megan and Jordan do talk, and she's taking a liking to him, like I said, based on him being a great dad. Megan goes to the pods, and when she goes to the pods, Megan had like three options. She had Mike, she had Jordan, and she also had Blake. Well, when she goes to the pods looking to have her date with Blake, Blake is nowhere to be found. So Blake pulled the same stunt as Anna and got the hell out of Dodge. And I really feel like Anna was Blake's number one. And when he saw that she left, that's when he decided to leave. And he didn't even say bye to Megan or nothing like that. But then hell, Anna didn't say bye to Blake, nor did she say bye to Patrick. Okay, so that's where we are. I don't know what was going on with Anna and the real reason why she decided to leave. She said that it was starting to bring about feelings in her that she never felt. So it's like, are you really in love with somebody? Are you connecting with somebody in a way you never connected before? Was it your parents who was already confused as to why the hell you here? And it's like, did they get in your head or something? You was like, okay, I'm finna leave, I'm finna go back and be with my parents, or what was it? Or did you realize how real it's getting? Like, I'm still gonna have to marry somebody after all of this, and oh my God, I'm gonna be marrying a person that my parents don't know. I need answers. Y'all gonna have to bring Miss Ma'am back to the reunion or something, and we're gonna need a reason as to why she decided to leave the pods. But I also wonder if they are gonna bring her back at a later time in the show so that she can meet the person that she ghosted. You just never know, right? So, anywho, you get Joe and Madison. So, of course, they're getting to know each other. They meet for the first time. The way Joe was reacting in reaction to Madison, because I do believe he proposed to Madison. Madison said yes. So they meet each other, and he was just like, wow, at a loss for words. And he almost pretty much slipped up and said it and was like, she definitely wasn't what I was expecting, right? Because he already had this image in his head of what he thought she should look like. And he was still trying to process her voice matching up with her body. And it just makes me feel like you're not that into her. At least that's what I'm thinking, right? I don't think that Madison is an unattractive girl. Of course, to me, I think she's very pretty, but he is the eye, the beholder of the eyes, honestly. So it's going to be up to him to decide on what he thinks is or is not attractive, right? But he did tell her, like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I like you. Yeah, I'm attracted to you. Well, we're going to see when y'all really get out there on vacay. So Nick and Kate are talking, and I don't like Nick. Nick, is you cool? Nick, is a gaslighter. Nick gives a agent of chaos. Nick gives an interesting character for sure. All right. He over there hyping up Miss was it Annie he was talking to, I think. He's over there hyping up Annie, talking about, yeah, yeah, when we go do this and that at our house and this and that, acting like they're on one. He goes over here and talks to Kate and then tell Kate he loves her. And I said, now what? Not you. You sure you love her? Are you sure you love her? Because I mean, I just didn't think it was genuine. That's the short answer. I just did not think it was genuine when he told her that he loved her. So it is what it is. Let's get to Edmond and Calibria. I feel like I'm messing her name up, but please forgive me. So now it's time for these two to meet, because at some point he does no, yeah, at some point he does propose to her. Of course, she says yes to him when he proposes to her after she like wrote him this letter and all of this stuff. And he was so hyper and excited after just laying his ass on the floor and stuff. So she accepted the proposal. They finally meet each other. And when they get ready to meet each other, it was just awkward. For me, it probably wasn't awkward for them. He was super excited. She was excited. She kept telling him how handsome he was, how soft his lips was and everything. He actually got down on one knee and proposed to her. I don't recall if Joe did that with Madison, but I definitely did not see Anton do it with Allie. So I'm just like, okay, is he the first one to get down and actually put the ring on her finger or whatever? All in all, these two are together. And in the midst of them talking and her soothing him, I just don't like how she soothes him in my personal. It kind of gives like mommy energy a little bit, like, oh, my sweet baby, oh, my precious baby, my poor baby, oh, my, look at me, oh, my hyper baby. Like all of that doesn't give wife, girlfriend, it gives mama to me. And him jumping up and down and stuff like a hyper child in my personal gives son. And when they went to go sit down, he's like, hold on. And he runs off and grabs a piece of paper and runs back. It was giving toddler. Okay. It was giving kindergartner. Like, oh, mommy, look what I drew today. Like, I was like, oh, this is so cringe to me. This is, I don't, y'all couldn't find no other better options. Cause she couldn't connect with somebody else. This was a little piece of cringe, okay? And it could be contributed to the fact that we've seen him all on the floor, right? Kissing on the floor, over here acting like he's in a track meet. Like he does these weird things, but at the same time, I feel like take those things away and let's just look at this scene. The scene itself was giving mommy and son. I cannot be the only person that saw that. It was just really like cringeworthy. However, good luck. Hopefully it works out. Now let's get to Nick and Kate. So she talks about her mom, and first of all, he asked her about her being like a religious person. She said she's not religious. She's more so spiritual because her mother ended up passing away from colon cancer. I believe it was, affecting her body for about 10 years where she would get different tumors throughout her body. So because of how it was so stressful for her mom, how much pain it was for her mom and seeing how her mother passed away, it made her feel like there can't be a God, because if there was, how would you allow somebody as kind and sweet as her to go through the things that her body is going through, right? So because of that, that definitely challenged her faith. It shook her faith, and she's at a place where she doesn't really have faith in religion like that. She don't really believe in God. She's more of a spiritual person, and she says, the universe and things like that, right? So keep that in mind, because it does show up at a later time between the both of them after he's already told this girl that he loves her and stuff, right? So Annie and Nick. So she talks about catching her guy cheating on her. She went in his phone, saw him talking to a slew of different women, and he gonna tell her, oh, well, you don't have to worry about me having, conversations with other women. You'll just worry about the weird chats that I got, because in my chats, I'm talking to my guys and I'm like, hey guys, guess what? My zick is curved to the right today. I'm like, what men have conversations like this in group chats? Like, is y'all cool? I'm not gonna hold you, but I truly believe, for me, I just feel like if you guys are doing this, it's giving suspect. It's giving either you're gay and you guys are not admitting it to your girls or to yourself. I mean, I don't know. Y'all just a little curious. Something about it. Either you already there or you're a little curious about it, because why is y'all entertaining each other in chats talking about which way you'll curve? Like, it's just really weird, but that's what they do. Okay. And it didn't help that he asked this, because then the next questions that were followed up were him asking how would she feel if her children ended up being LGBTQ plus or whatever, right? And so she's like, I mean, of course I will love my kids, at the end of the day, but I won't lie and sit up here and act like, oh, like that she wouldn't want that to be their first choice. And everything. She said she will question them and asking, like, do you know what you're getting yourself into? Are you sure about this? And he says same thing, because he feels like some other kids may influence them. They may have some friends where they're like, oh, such and such is gay, so I think I'm gay too, whatever it was. He also then goes on to reminisce on a time period in his life where he was depressed, and I think he had just gotten out of a relationship or had some issues with his girlfriend. He says his mother was watching some type of piece on television that led her to come up to his room and ask him whether or not he was gay. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't believe that. You talking to your homeboys about that. You turned around, asked her about the LGBTQ. And I think that's a fair question to ask in your relationship, right? I think that's very fair. But then also you follow it up with your mama even asking if you was gay. I feel like there were certain actions of you that probably made your mama be like, well, let me go ahead and just ask him, because he probably ain't gonna tell me. But he damn sure showing me some signs of a little something. Let me just ask him, let him know this is a safe space, even if he is. Okay. So that's what I think is going on. All right. And I'm just like, Nick, are you sure you're not gay? Even though he said he's not. I don't know what that man is, so I'm not gonna put that label on him, but I will listen. You sure? Well, I'll just listen. Leave y'all thoughts below. Okay, so Kacie tells Patrick that her ex-boyfriend told her to go on another dating reality show. So this is the Asian guy, Patrick, meeting with the blonde haired Kacie, the one who says her family would be okay with her dating an Asian because they are all pretty much dating outside of their race, right? So she talks about a boyfriend that she had once upon a time. And it really don't sound like it was once upon a time ago. It really sounds like this is a recent boyfriend who wanted her to go on another reality show, milk the opportunity, and make a name for herself, right? And he'll be there waiting on her. So what other dating show he's sending you on? And so Patrick said, did he say the same thing when it comes to Love is Blind? She said, yeah. I said, oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'm like, this is, and it seemed like she may still be in contact with him. So Patrick says, you're going to have to really set a strong boundary with this guy. And she says, I mean, if we get married or anything, I'm not letting him know. She doesn't want to have to tell her ex that they married, but he kind of like, I want you to tell him. She says, well, you probably got some exes too. He said, I ain't got no exes. Don't put that on me. I tied up all my loose ends. I ain't got no baggage. I ain't got nobody waiting on me. I don't have none of that you got going on. No backup plan on that. So don't put it on me. So then she says, well, if you want me to block him, then, I'll just block him. And he's like, no, I want you to tell him that you're a married woman now. Okay. And she seemed to be hesitant with that. So he's like, I've had people like screw me over in the past. And it's like, listen, just because she goes and tell this man that she's married doesn't mean that you still won't get screwed over. Okay. But thanks for letting her know. And the fact that you're over here asking him if that's what you want, if you want me to block him, I will. Well, he's telling you he wants you to let the man know that you married. All right. But you don't want to do that. Yeah, these are signs to let you know, do not get down on any proposal to this lady at all. So she tells him, you really need to take it easy on me. Girl, what? And it's like, Patrick, whatever she does to you, I slick feel like you deserve it, because not only did she tell you how her ex-boyfriend was setting or helping her set up the finesse with these dating shows, but then she turns around and lets you know that she still pretty much has access to him. And when she tells you, if you want me to block, right? You tell her, no, I don't want you to block, but I want you to let them know. And she's giving you pushback on that. Like, she's giving you the red flags and you still want to move forward. And I don't know if it's because you want to move forward because you're dying to have somebody love you, or if you're trying to move forward so you can continue to be on this show yourself. Are y'all both clout chasers? Not sure. So, I personally felt that for me, I was like, please don't propose to this woman. Please don't propose to this woman. Please don't propose to her. Just leave the show, right? I felt like this woman is a manipulator. Honestly, if you ask me, I think Kacie and Nick should actually team up. I think they both give off a little bit of the same vibes, just a little bit, okay? I felt like when it came to her, she was definitely trying to manipulate Patrick, talking about all this sex stuff. I want to do this to you. I want to do that to you. I want to, fulfill your desires, and I want to make you come, and I want to do this. And I'm just like, this is your solution. You're a toxic woman. And also you have things within yourself that you need to go and resolve. If every time you have a conflict with a man, you feel like you need to throw yourself at him sexually. Go heal that, okay? So Nick tells Kate that he is being pulled into two different directions, right? And it's crazy because this man had just told this girl that he loved her not too long ago, right? So she feels like that's crazy because you just told me that you love me, and she says she's confused or whatever. I'm confused that you confused because how are you confused? Because if you're gonna come to somebody and tell them that you love them, there must not be nobody else. Okay, so I'm a little confused. She says, if you really want to get down to it, I feel like you love bombing me. And that's just what it is. So she tells him that they may have two different versions of love. She says that she was falling for him, and she gave him a list of reasons as to why she's falling in love with him. I feel like she gave really good reasons for me to believe that she is in that place with you, right? So he says that the love for her, or at least the love that he has for her, it'll never change, right? He asked her if she would explore a relationship with God, and she says no. I've never been a religious person. Now I thought that she was like a religious person. Then after that happened with her mama, it was like done for. So he is now confused on whether she believes in God or not because of what she said. You know, he was like, I thought about what about your upbringing and you told me about? What about the conversation you and your sister had? Like, I'm thinking at some point in life, you were here for God until that situation happened. And then now you're not going to consider it anymore. Right. So that's where he is. But also, I feel like he knew what it was and he's using this as an excuse to sever ties with her. That's what it's some about it. So she says, I told you I don't believe there's a God. She says he knew that was not her. So he tells her he has love for her, but he doesn't know if it's enough for them to get through. And then he says this sucks because the girl, that's my other connection, me and her have never even talked about love at all. And I just felt like this was him kind of gaslighting her. And that's just that. I feel like he was never there for her for real, for real. And yeah, he was just playing. Cause like I said, you just told somebody our house and we're gonna do this together and this and that. Then you go to another pod and tell somebody that you love them. Then now you're going back to the pod saying, I don't know. I mean, I said I love you, but are you gonna have a relationship with God? Knowing the girl just told you a few days ago that that's dead for the moment. Right? And she's like, and she's standing by that. Then now you want to make it seem like it's a fucking deal breaker when it should have been a deal breaker from the damn beginning. Yeah, get this gay man up out of here. Get this gay man up out of here. Cause what? I had to say it. It's getting gay. Okay. So now she over there crying because he told her that he loved her and now he over there breaking up with her. Then he over there acting like he really stressed out, right? And then saying that he wants to go talk to Annie now and see what that is. Then y'all, this why I don't like Nick. Nick is gonna be a problem for me. Nick does a hopscotch, get his ass right on over there into the pod with Annie. Has this long whatever BS conversation only to tell her that he loves her, and then Annie want to see her ass up there talking about some she love him too, and I'm just like, Annie, baby, listen, this man ain't even been talking that deep with you this whole time, but then when you get in the room with Brandon, you want to sit up there and try and question him and say that y'all ain't never had no serious conversations. I feel like you and Brandon had plenty of serious conversations, right? And I said, girl, don't make this be the worst mistake of your life by choosing this fool. And it's definitely finna be the worst. So she tells him that she just wanted more from him. I said, girl, what? What? You wanted more from him? Meanwhile, you and Nick over there having conversations and it sounds like y'all just besties. So anywho, I said she will regret this. And when Brandon was hearing this, he was disappointed. He was sad. He was willing to step away. Like, I just want the best for you. Whatever you decide, I have to respect it, whatever the case is. Goes back into the pods. He's bummed about it. He's talking to somebody. Nick comes over, joins the conversation. I think somewhere in the midst of that, he kind of learned and realized that Nick is the other person that I'm competing with. Oh my God. But he kind of knew that already. Because when he was talking to another guy earlier in the episode, he was like, can't be. I know it ain't him. And he didn't feel threatened at all. Now you're threatened. So he's sad. Meanwhile, Kacie and Patrick are talking. He tells her he loves her. She sounds hesitant to say it back, but she does. He says nobody else in here makes sense for him, or no, it's no one else. It's all you. No one else makes sense. You don't make sense. You don't make sense because had Miss Girl been there, you would not be proposing to Kacie. He proposed, what a dumbass, and she accepts it. We're going to watch the train wreck because I feel like if Nick advances and Kacie advances, it's for to be a shit show. But that's just my opinion. I don't know. We're going to find out. We're going to see. But the people got work they need to do. Meanwhile, Brandon comes back at the last minute to tell Annie, listen, I know what the hell going on. And this man tried to pull him a Dwayne Wayne from different world, okay? Before the wedding even go down, he's like, listen, it's me. You're supposed to be with me. I already know that Nick is the other option, but I'm telling you right now, the things that you want in life, the things that we talked about, only I can get that to you. I said, Brandon, you better get in there and talk to SHI. But let me tell you, if Annie makes the decision to still go with Nick and not go with you, Annie deserves whatever the hell Nick finna give her. That's just how, just like I feel like with Patrick and Kacie. Patrick, you deserve whatever she finna give you. Now, I'm probably going to still call her out accordingly, but you might still deserve it because you should have just left and took your ass back to Colorado in my personal. But either way, good luck. All right, that's all I got. Y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down below. I'll be back with episodes 5 and 6, child.
Tell him I preach to the choir. Stand with my feet to the fire. Give all the glory to God. Stand in the midst of these haters, I'm silent, nobody can stop me. Just gotta check in my notification, them numbers hit like it's a proxy. Cashed out at the ATM, and the ATL, they done made a gym. I've been kicking doors like the ATF, got them trying to clone me like Aegis. Game time, I invaded gym, high elevated, I can face the rim. Putting shots up, I got laser focus, about to take it over, I'm Invader Zim. On a trip to Florida like it's A&M. Who that nigga, man, they say I'm him. Spit the truth, never wasting film, I can feel it pull